Welcome to this DBWatch webinar on DBWatch reporting module. Today, it's me, Per-Kristoffer Undheim. I'm the product manager of DBWatch Control Center. And with me today, I have Mark Jablonski. Could you please introduce yourself, Mark?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Jablonski, and I have been working with DBWatch for over 20 years. And today I'm going to share some of that knowledge with you.
Thank you, Mark. Today, we will focus on the reporting part of DBWatch, on showing you how to create a new report, how we extract data from different database sources, how we can visualize this in different ways in the reporting, and also how we use parameters to make the reporting more flexible and interactive.
Yes, and then I take from here, Per.
Yep.
Before I start with showing you the report module in DBWatch, I will give you a short introduction to DBWatch because some of you are not so familiar with the product. So I would just switch straight into the DBWatch. This is DBWatch Monitor running on my computer. I am connected to around 20 instances. This is the monitoring part where you can see the status of all instances. Those instances are grouped in groups, and you see the status from those instances. You can select one of them, and you see all the jobs and status from those jobs displayed here. Also some jobs which are just collecting statistics. And then you can just drill down into details. So this is the monitoring part. Then you can switch into the management part where you can interact with the instance. So this is my local SQL Server. You can look at the performance on that instance, or if you just look at the databases, we can add database. You just do your own DBA stuff here. So this is the management part where you interact with the database. Then we have the farm module where we have a set of views which are run against the whole environment. So you can look at, you can get some information here. And then we have a worksheet where you can run queries, SQL statements against one or many instances at the same time, of course, per platform. So this is the fourth part. You have also the auto discover module where DBWatch Server can scan for other instances and which are not monitored by DBWatch Server, and you can then add them to DBWatch Server. We have also the FDL console, which is the internal query language of DBWatch, where you run queries against all the instances independent of the platform. And so at the end, we have the report module, which I am going to talk about today. You can also select the DBWatch internal, and here we have some internal views more for support. If we run into some problems with DBWatch, we can get information about that. So this is the DBWatch Monitor, and today I'm going to talk about reporting. So let's just switch back to the presentation. Here's one. So what is a DBWatch report? So DBWatch report is structured into chapters, and each chapter contain a section or many sections. And the section has three main components. It has a query, which you run against the database instance. Then you have a result set, which would be returned from the instance. And then presentation, and you can decide to present it as a table or pie chart, depending on the data you have presented. And today I am going to focus on the graphs, but of course I will show you also the pie charts and the tables, and also show you how you can merge data from multiple instances. So let's just switch back to the DBWatch Monitor and start to create our first report. So now we'll go back to DBWatch Monitor like this. In the main menu, I select report and create report template. So we just give it the name this. So this will be the name of the report, like this. And I'll just move the screen. Here's our a report editor. This is the front page. You can add some text. You can upload some logo and stuff like that. So we start first by adding a chapter. So let me do my data. I will just call it my data like this. So that would be the chapter name, and I will add the section. Data like this. Okay, so now I have my chapter and I have my first section, and the section will have those three components. It has a query, result set, and presentation, and of course I will have to edit them. By default, we get a FDL type of presentation, so this is the internal language of DBWatch. Today I will be just using normal SQL for running the queries. So what we do, we just add one query for SQL Server, and I will remove the other one, like this one. Yes, and I will actually run this report which we will create. I will run against three instances, two SQL Server instances on my PC, and also I have an Oracle instance on my PC. So I will just run against those three instances, even I am connected to many different instances here. So let me start with SQL Server. I have a table named DB info. So what I have a database named ADB, and in that database I created a table with name DB info. So let's take a look at that. What this table, what kind of data we have in that table, and the instances we are going to work with this is the one of them. So now I can just run the query. We'll call it database, and now it's not working. Let me take a source. Like this. So here we have data from that table. So the table has three columns: database name, so three databases here, the DB1, 2, and 3, and there's some size and the historical date. So this is a query. When we run the query, we can define the result set just by exporting it to by clicking the export button, and the result set will be automatically defined, and then we can run to the export to presentation like this, and then we will have the presentation, and the default is a table. So now actually we have our first section in our first chapter. What I will do now, I will just save it to the file system. I will call it report XML like this, and I can before I run the report, I could check the preview like this. I will run it again this instance like that, and it looks okay. So here is my first section. So if I now go into the main menu, report, generate report, I will select, let's say this instance is here, next one, and where's this is the report we just created. Next, we'll create it in HTML format. Next one, next, and the report will look like this. So this is the front page, and I can click on the first chapter. So all the chapters we will be creating will appear here on the left, and here's the first table in that report. So let's get back into the report, take a look at our report, and just continue developing it. I will also add another one. Actually, I will show it here. Here on top, there's the list of all instances which are monitored by the DBWatch server. So be careful what instance you select, because if you run this statement, let's say against Oracle, then you will get an error. And now, of course, you have to select correct instance. I actually have two SQL Server instances, also with the same table, but different data. Here we can see database 4, 5, and 6. And the other one was here, and I run it. Here I have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, different data. And now I would like to add the query for Oracle. Then I have to add query for Oracle like this. And I already, actually the query is almost identical. I will just copy it like this. And then, of course, we don't have a database name. This is the schema name. A_DB is a schema name. And in that schema, we have a table named DB info. And now I will just select the correct database. And it's here. It's a pluggable database on my computer here. I will run it against that. And now you can see similar data. So we have a column database name. Here is values 7, 8, and 9. So there are different values, different size values, and some history date values. So now we have a query for SQL Server, for Oracle. We don't have to define the result set because the result set is identical. So you have to be careful when you have multiple queries from different platforms. Those must return the same set of data, otherwise you will run into problems. So that's the query for Oracle. Result set is the same and presentation the same. We can save it like this, and I will run the query report very fast like this. Generate report once again. Now I will select several instances, all 3 instances here, and here is the Oracle instance like this, and I will select the report. Run it as HTML. Next, we finish, and it goes very fast, as you can see. So now we see our report. Just one chapter, and we have 3 tables here. To merge those tables together, we have to switch into the editor, of course, and I will show you how to do it. So you probably are interested in merging the data together. You can do it here by checking this box, merge, and then you will merge the data from all those 3 instances, and to be able to see from which instance the data comes from, so you can add extra column like this. Save. So let's let me see. Save. So let's try to run the report once again, and back to the monitor. Once again, the main menu, report, generate report. Now we have all instances and Oracle. Next, and finish like this. And now we will have just one table, and you can see we have an extra column which shows us where the data comes from. Let's go back again to our editor, like this, What I will do now, I will actually change the default so I don't have to change it. So HTML will be the default. Save this. And now I will just add another presentation as a pie chart. I will create a new section. Once again, I would just call it pie chart like this. And once again, we have to add query for SQL Server and for Oracle like this. I will remove the FDL like this, and I have prepared a different query for that. So I will have, let's say, information like that. So now I will, this is for SQL Server. So let's test it and see if it works. So I have to select the instance. I will run the query. So now I will get the 3 databases and the size of the database. I will have to export it to the result set like this. Okay. Yeah, it will be exported like that, and then I export to the presentation like this, and the default is a table, but I would like to have a pie chart, and I will okay. It's probably because I didn't fill up this one, so I will do the same for Oracle. It disappeared. Okay. For some strange reason, let's try it once again, like this, and I will also do it for Oracle. I change the syntax like this, and also I will test it against Oracle. Here's my PDB. Now run it. Looks okay. And then once again, export to result set, yes, and export to the like this. Okay. I will probably, when I add both those queries, I have to fill them up with queries. One of them were empty, and that's why I run into the problems. So here's the presentation. Default is table. I will change to pie chart, and then we will plot, of course, size and labels. That will be DB. And at the same time, I will merge the information like this. I don't have to add anything more here. So I do it like this, say, okay, and let's go back to DBWatch Monitor, and I will run generate report and select once again instances on my DB. Next, here's the report. Next, now we can see the default is HTML. Next, and finish. So now the report should have 2 sections, 2 presentations. So first is the table, and the second is the pie chart. And you can see the data is merged, and we see the size of databases from all those 3 instances, 2 SQL servers and 1 Oracle. So that's basic and quite simple. Of course, you can add some text here in front, on the side. I am not going to discuss that today, but you can add a lot of text, both in front of on the front page and in the front of at the start of the chapter and for every section. So let's go back to the editor once again here, and now we are going to create another chapter. I will here add chapter, and chapter name will be graphs, like this. Okay, now we have our chapter, no presentation, so we have to add a section, like this. New section, we can change the name of the section, and we can call it single graph like this. Okay, and once again, we have to do the same. Add the SQL Server and add Oracle like this, and we will remove this one. Yes, and now I prepared a different query here, like this. So let me see. Now I will run it. Okay, I can run it first against Oracle here. So what I have 4 points, the date and the total size of all those 3 databases. And I would like to create a graph which shows me the growth rate of all those 3 databases. So that will be the data I'm going to plot in a few seconds. For SQL Server, it's more or less the same. I have to just check, select a different database here and see that it works. Works okay. Here, different values. I don't have to test against the second SQL Server because it works for one of them. And now I will export to the result set. Of course, here you can add some labels. So in the x-axis, I will have date like this, and here will be a size in megabytes, like this. And then we will export it to the presentation.
You switch the labels.
I switched the labels. Let me take a look. Date. Oh, thank you, Per. So someone is actually watching. That's good. So I will put date here. That's correct. And here I will have a size. Maybe gigabyte, like this. Okay, and presentation default is a table. But here I will have a chart like this. Here I will plot only the size. So I will remove this column, and the categories will be date. That's usually what you want. And here you can decide different types of graphs. So we start with normal line like this. I will save it like this. And before you run, after some time, the report will be bigger and bigger, so you don't run it every time. So, that's why we have a preview. You can run the preview on a section or on a chapter. So we'll just check the preview section, and we can take a look at the, let's say this one. No, that's the, see that it works. I have 3 screens, so I have to move this here. So it looks okay. You see the size in gigabyte and total size and date here. So it looks okay. So let's see how it works now. Okay, this is the first one. I will also create another one. And then soon we will merge those data from different instances and see what's going on. And we will run into some small problems, but just bear with me. I'll be there in a second. So I will just create another one, preview add section, and I will just graph. But now I will have so series like this. Okay, and then once again, I will have to add the server like this and Oracle like this. And with more SQL. Yeah. And of course, I have a query for that. So let's check SQL Server first. So this is yes. So now I have, instead of the whole all database together, I have data for all the databases, and you can see the data are merge into those columns. So we have to kind of split the values from those different columns in the graph if you want to see how those different database grow over time. So this is for SQL Server. I will have similar query for Oracle. This. Let's remove the dot here. And let me see that it works. Yes, it works. Okay. Now we are ready to export it to result set. Result set, that's the database name. Okay. Database. And then we have date here. And then we have the size. Like this. Okay. And export to presentation like this. Once again, table is default. And now instead of selecting the category chart, we select category chart series like this. And so what we plot is, of course, size. Chart type could be, we can still stick to 9, and then that would be series, would be databases, and categories would be date, like this. So when we use the category chart series, we can only have the 3 columns here, like this. We just save it. And when we use the normal category chart, then we have just 2 columns. Of course, it depends on the type of data, how the data is formatted from in the result set. So in our case, we have different data in the same column, and we just want to split it. And it's not so easy to understand how to what to put where. So that's why I'm showing this type of data. So we have now this graph and this graph. We are not merging data, so when we run report now, we will have one graph for each database. So let's try this now. Okay, save. Okay, let's go back to the monitor. Report once again, generate report. Select the instances, 3 instances here, and then our report. Next one, it's in PDF. It's supposed to be, maybe I deselected and have to database some statistics. And next, and okay, let's take a look now. So now we have 2 chapters, my data, and with the table and the pie chart. And the second chapter, we have graphs. So here's one graph for each instance. So here we have total size for that instance, and we have total size for another instance, and the total size here. And here we have for each database like this. And you can see, so you can see the different databases. Here is 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, and in Oracle we have 7, 9, and 10. That's from Oracle. So now we will go back, and now we will try to merge the data together and see how it looks like. So let me go back to the editor. So now we have our graphs here. To merge them together, we can just click merge, and we do the same with this one. We click merge. Okay, save. And let's see what will happen now. Okay, go back to the monitor. It's here, right here. Server once again, report, generate report. Select the instances, and this one. like this. Database size. I'm just wondering what happened to. I thought it's supposed to be like this, but it doesn't matter. Okay. We go back here. Database size. Next. I think it's too late. And then like this. Next. And then finish. It takes longer time because we have to create 4 sections. Okay. Let me take a look at the report, my data and graphs. So let's take a look at graphs. And then we see a strange pattern here. So you can see this one appear very nice. We have databases from all those 3 different instances and no problem with merging data together. But this one, you can see it's a very strange pattern because all those 3 instances, they return same data and the DBOT server just merged them together because it thinks that it's just one source. So to be able to display it, you will have to add another column and move from normal graph to graph with type series. So let's do that, and that's where some of our customers run into problems when they try to merge data from multiple instances. It's a very common error or mistake. So let's go back to the DBWatch editor like this. So this one works nice, no problem with that. Tables also, we can merge them without any problems. Pie charts work also nice. But here we did have the total size and we plotted categories with date. So to split it, to have a one graph for each instance, we have to add another column to that query like this. And I'll save it. So give a name like this. And then I'll go to the presentation, and now I should have I should change from the category chart into the category chart series like this. And here the series will be the given name. That will be the instance name. And categories will be the same, date, and we will plot size. So this is common mistakes DBOT users are making when they switch into when they're trying to merge data from multiple sources. So let's take a look at that now. And I will go back to the monitor. And then once again, main menu, report, generate report. Select the instances, this one, and PDD. Next, database statistics. Next, it's the HTML. Then next, finish. Okay, let's take a look. Graphs, and now it looks much better. Then the DBOT server understand that this data comes from 3 different instances, and now we have my 2 local SQL Server instances and Oracle, and you can plot the data here. So of course it depends on type of data. Let me just show you another type of data. I will go back to the editor, and then I will add a section like this. Call it just test. Press, and this time I will add also the SQL Server once again, and also Oracle like this. It's just for that. Actually, I just want to show you how it works. If you have a different set of data, I'm going to delete this one. Yes. and I will run. I have a similar query like this, but I have a different table and a table info 2 in one of those databases. I think it's there. So let's say if the data set is different, so here you can see the columns are database 1, 2, 3, and so on. That's different. So data in each column, you have data for just one database, something like that. Then you plot it differently, of course. So let me just show you how it looks when you define your presentation like this. And here you can select just like that. And now you can see you can plot all those 3 columns. We have to remove this one, and your categories will be history, and then let's say bars like this. And save. And I'll show you a preview. So here we have let's say just against this one. Okay. And you can see it. Okay, and you see data will be plotted. Okay, maybe I should not use the bar, just lines, so you will see the difference. Save. And once again, this one. And you see you get more or less the same graph. You see the database 1, 2, and 3, and we plot it the same, but the data set is completely different. So this one here we get the same graph, but the definition of the presentation is completely different from series like this one, where we have the total size is just 1 column. And we have to split them. But in that situation, it's very easy to plot it. You can plot as many columns as you wish. But of course, it depends on the type of data you are trying to present. So I will just remove this one. Delete section like that. Okay. So here's our report. It's quite static, and I would like to show you now how to interact or make it more flexible. And the only way to make it more flexible is to add parameters to the report. So we will go back to the editor in a second. We have 2 types of parameters. One is just normal string, which will be the query will be you can add some text to the query, or you can use FDL types, this internal query language in DBWatch, where you can get dynamically some values, but that's a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to only show you the string type of parameters. So let's get back to the report editor, and we can define some parameters here. And so I need to make the report more flexible. I will probably add a where clause to those different select statements, and where you can when you run the report, you can decide what information you would like to extract from the data set, actually. So I will add a parameter named, I will just call it where clause, like this, and I will put it a where clause like this here. Okay, and I will show you how it works. So here's the parameter. It's just a string which can be put inside the query. So let's go. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the select, it looks like this. I can run it against the instance. That's the data set I'm getting. And what I could type, of course, where and so on, but instead of typing it, making it static, I can add the parameter word clause here, like this one. And now when I run it, you can see the value, and I can execute it, and you can see now I will get different result sets, and you can see what statement it's actually run. If I run it once again, I can just remove it like this, empty, run it once again, and you can see it will run like it. Or I can just add some other values. So this is the parameter. So let me add this parameter to other queries. So I will add the same here. Not this one. Sorry. It would work, of course. Word clause like this. And we have here from we will have to put it here like this, and also we have to add it here. Yes. Okay, and then two more from group by word clause, and also for the Oracle. Like this, and was the last one from order by word clause and Oracle. Okay, like this one. So here it's quite easy to just add this parameter inside the query. Actually, it's also possible to add it into the text here. I could put some it's here, blah blah blah, and actually when I right click here, I won't be able to see those parameters, but you can add it by typing manually. So the parameter name. So the way to do it is this. So okay, like this, and very good. You can type it like here, and it would add into the text the parameter value or whatever you wish. So I save it here like this, and now you can also run the preview. You can run the whole chapter preview chapter. You can select those, and you have also Oracle instance here. And now we have the parameter, which you can specify here and change before you run it. Okay, it's already created. I tried. Okay, it disappeared somehow. Okay. Sorry for that. I don't know. Okay, let's try it once again. Preview chapter. Select the instances. Here's the Oracle. Here's the parameter. So all the parameters will be placed here. Then, okay. And it runs. Okay, and I get the information from those three instances. You can see to just one database from this one from this one, and one from Oracle. And you can see pie chart just contains three databases. So it looks okay. So let us run the report now. I will go back to the monitor like this. Report, generate report. Like this. Select once again our instances. Here's our PDB. Next one. Yeah. Now we will be asked to specify the parameter values. That's the default. I could change, to something else, and the parameters just a text which would be added into the query. It could be subquery. It could be just a value for a parameter where you already type where's column this and column that is, and add some values here, and you can have many parameters. Next one, and we'll have it. So change once again to PDF. There is great. I will select the HTML. Next one, and then we run our report. Yes. So my data, you can see the table is much smaller because now we get the data on the with the workflows. So there's one database here, one here. This is the pie chart, and then we can see the graphs. So this just looks a little bit different, and here we have just 3 databases, as you can see, and here you have this text and the parameter value where, and so on, as you can see. So by adding parameters, the report will become much more flexible, and of course you can have many different parameters. And if you use the FDL parameters, then they're even more dynamic. Also, if you use FDL instead of SQL, then you just define one, but it's just more advanced. You have to know the language, the FDL language. So let's go back to our presentation. Here. So just some more information about the reports. Those reports can be sent by email. On the format supported by email is PDF, so we cannot send the HTML report in that format. And there are actually some other possibilities inside the XML file. If you know where the file is located, then you can even look. There's some other features which are not supported in the editor. So the report can be quite complex if you know what to do. There should be some of that information you should find on our wiki pages. And that will be all I have for today. So do we have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Marek. I think that was great. And also, I think to mention to all the listeners and viewers that if you're a customer, you can reach out to support if you are creating your own reports and want to need some help on setting it up. And if you're not a client or a customer, you can reach out to book a demo so we can demonstrate the capabilities of the product directly to you. But we also have some questions here, like so the way I understand it is that if they want to query a different schema than in the database, how can I see what kind of user we are connecting to? You have to do grants and stuff like that. So what database user do we run the reports as when we connect?
I didn't mention that. So let's say we were running against those 2 instances. So let's say how it's configured. You go into the instance configuration like this. And here it is. And you can see authentications, and you can actually in DBWatch you can define many users, so you can connect to the SQL Server Oracle instance by many users. There's at least one, but you can define more of them. And as you can see, here should be a box for reports. So you can see, okay, when we run report, we are going to use the SR_Marek login to run the report. So for Oracle, let's take a look at that. I have a SysSDBA, and I have I created actually a user named a_db for that purpose, and that's the user who is running the report. So you will find it in instance configuration, if that was the question.
Yeah, so we have somebody that have raised their arms. If you can type your questions into, there is a Q&A section in the controls to Zoom, where it's possible to click on that and ask questions. So it's hard to enable you to do stuff if you raise your hands. But if you can ask a question in writing in the Q&A section, that would be great. Then I can see it in my overview. While the attendee that raised their hand is typing something there, we can do another question. So if you have created a lot of these test reports and want to remove them, how do you progress with the removal of a report?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because we don't have any graphical interface to remove those reports. So as soon as you create your report, you will create this a file someplace in the file system, and if you want to remove the report, you will have to just remove the file from the file system. And I will show you where it is. So on my computer, I have several installations. So all the configuration on everything, what I do on the SQL Server installation will end up under the program data catalog. And here I have the DBOT Control Center tool. And here, I think it's data, and then resources. And as soon as you create your own report or a job or something, you will have a global report in local catalog. Normally it's empty. And here, so it's data, resources, global reports. Here, and actually, and here's the report we were playing with, database size statistics, and here's the report, and some backups, because you can as soon as you edit a report, you will have several backups. You can go back, but you cannot remove the report from the graphical interface, unfortunately.
So you have to go here and remove
it. You just delete here, and as soon as you delete and you try to run it, it won't be visible in the list of the reports. Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't got any question from the attendee that raised their hand yet. But if you have questions, it's always feel free to reach out to support. We support both the customers of the product, but also people in trial of the product. So if they have any questions, just let us know. Yeah, if you want to try out DBWatch, there is QR codes to scan. You can reach out to support or sales for questions as well. Yeah, thank you all for your attention in this presentation. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Next time we will have a focus on, I believe, how to set up and install and best practices for smaller setups, like 50 databases installations, focusing on best practices in using DBWatch. Thank you all for attending this webinar, and like always, thank you, Marek, for your time and effort here to educate our community.
Thank you.
I hope we'll see everybody again next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
And bye-bye.
DBWatch Control Center, redefining database operations. Please visit us at Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube.